the thing. President Muhammadu Buhari, he actually created this mess. Nnamdi Kanu, let me ask you, you watching me right now, I'm going to ask you, you watching me, did you know who Nnamdi Kanu was before President Muhammadu Buhari had him arrested? Yeah, neither did I. I did not know who he was. I mean, he was more or less a nobody. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I know you IPOB people, you're very, very good, with the media. No, don't come after me. I don't mean that in a bad way. But until he was arrested by President Muhammadu Buhari, he was a nobody. The president actually created Nnamdi Kanu, actually made him a celebrity, actually made him a star, gave him the power that he has right now. And you see, if the president had just ignored him, let him come in and let him go out and let him do... Listen, there's something that Margaret Thatcher, she said, the Iron Lady, the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, there's something she said. She said, I don't care how much my ministers talk, as long as they do what I say. You don't focus on what people will say, you focus on what they do. I mean, right now you have empowered the young man to do a lot more damage to you than he would have been if you had not arrested him. What was he doing? Radio Biafra? How many people are listening to Radio Biafra? Right now you've made the boy into this big celebrity. I mean, I was watching a video and I was reading it up. I think was it in Punch or where was it? I was watching somewhere, and then a Turkish diplomat had actually gone to Nnamdi Kanu's house to go and pay a courtesy visit to him, and then they took a picture of them and they were discussing. I mean, that's how big you have made him by doing what you did to him. I'll give you a very good example. So how many of you remember in 1999 when Obasanjo was president, how many of you remember that there was a Sharia crisis? It started in Zamfara state with Sani, the governor then, Sani Yarima, and then it started moving all over. And even our current president, President Muhammadu Buhari, said it that I will always show openly and within me a total commitment to the Sharia movement that is currently moving across the nation. How many of you remember that? Imagine what would have happened if Obasanjo had impeached Governor Sani Yarima, or if he had him arrested, or if he had gone to Kaduna State and then just arrested a bunch of people and said, okay, what you're doing is affecting the national security interest of the country, or is unconstitutional. I mean, imagine what he would have done, what would have happened. First and foremost, the country would have gone up in flames. Something like 2,000 people died in Kaduna in 2000, the Sharia riots. I'm telling you, 20,000 people would have died. But what did Obasanjo do? He ignored them. And I can't forget what he said. He made a statement. He said, political Sharia will fade away, but the real Sharia will stay. Is that not what happened? That's a leader. That's a real leader. So, they should have just, President Muhammadu Buhari should have left Nnamdi Kanu to just be. I'll give a very good example, another example. A lot of people don't really realize that Mohammed Yusuf, the founder of Boko Haram, he wasn't violent. Muhammad Yusuf was a charismatic preacher. He was somebody that you could admire because he was very charismatic. He hated injustice. He hated what was happening in where the people were not actually doing zakat to the poor members of society. I mean, he was a charismatic, and he understood and he knew the Quran. I've read the Quran. The Quran, when you read the Quran is, I know some of you, you are Christians. I'm a Christian pastor, and you say I shouldn't say this, but I've read the Quran, and really, when you read the book, it's a very beautiful book. It's poetic, and then it has. I'll give you a very good example. The Quran mentions Mary, the mother of Jesus, Isa. The Quran mentions her 85 times. There's a whole chapter in the Quran about Mary. So this man was a charismatic preacher. And then they had him killed. First, they had him arrested, and then they had him killed. And what happened? Boko Haram just exploded, became radicalized, and then it's a problem to Nigeria today. Yesterday, Wale Soyinka gave an interview. It was in all the papers, I'm sure you saw it. He said, Nigerians are less secure today than they were under Jonathan. It's because of Boko Haram. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari should understand this. History does not repeat itself. Actually, men repeat history. President Muhammadu Buhari is repeating the history that happened under President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua's era. And it's quite a coincidence. They were both from Katsina State. This man, Nnamdi Kanu, look, what you have done, you have created a big problem for yourself.
But when no travels all around the world, I hope hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is